little bit. Is there anyone here who hasn't been to a General Assembly before? That's great. I'm really glad to see you. So what we have here is we've worked out an agenda that anyone can sign up for a proposal beforehand for the agenda, and if there's no new proposals, I'll ask when we get there. But we're going to work through this form, and at different points in the agenda, there's sort of different things. During these first few things, there's not really any discussion. Right now, I'm just going to tell you about what we're doing, and then some various groups that have been meeting already are going to say what they've been doing, and that's not really time for discussion. But when it gets to the proposals, that is definitely time for discussion. There's a way that we're going to go about discussion. There's going to be two stack keepers, and I'm going to ask if anyone wants to volunteer after I describe what to do, and they're going to scan the crowd for people raising their hands and wanting to talk, and they're going to write down 5 people and take 5 people at a time to talk. So is anyone willing to take stack? Preferably someone who's had experience with this smooth. And I'm going to call out on people who I know who have experience. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So can I have one more person to take stack right now? Yeah. Awesome. So you guys should talk and work out exactly how you're going to do it. And so when we're having this discussion, there's a bunch of hand signals. Of course, this if you want to make a comment. If you want to make a comment about how the meeting is being run, you do the point of process. We've been using this direct response that's confusing, so I'm just going to replace it today with point of information, which is if you want to clarify a fact or answer a direct question like, how many police came here yesterday? You can be like, 5 police, whatever. It doesn't matter. Clarifying a fact. It's not like, oh, I want to make an argument against something that someone just said. Then you get on the stack for that. And is there anything else that I'm not thinking of, just for when we're having discussion that people can remind me of, hand signal-wise? Oh, I just said that I hope this is okay with you guys, but I think we're going to replace this with point of information, because this is really confusing. Because direct response, everything you say is a direct response. If we want to take consensus on that right now, how do people feel about replacing direct response with point of information? If you will like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. If you think it's against our purposes as a group, block. Everyone can vote, even if you've never been here before. Cool. I see a little maybes, but generally I see a lot of people in support of that idea. Okay. So as I just said, when we do come to a proposal at the end of a discussion so people will come up, people who wrote these items on the agenda, and they'll give their proposal. We'll discuss it for a bit. Then after the discussion has been flushed out and we start, it seems like people's ideas have been heard, we're going to test for consensus, and when that happens, we're going to do those 3 hand signals that I just explained again. And then we're going to talk to the people who have their thumbs down and see if they can make any friendly amendments to the proposal to let it pass at the moment. Same with the people with blocks. And if we can't do that, for today it will be tabled and it will go back to a working group to work on to be amended so that we can save time and not just discuss it forever right now. Does anyone have any questions? All right, so then we're going to...
If you block, it's really because you're completely against it. You can't see any way possible to do about that block. If you work with it, then I think some down some discussion, but once you block something, it's we shut it down. You don't want to work on it and try that. That's absolutely important.
Yes.
And make sure that whoever is speaking making themselves heard to everybody.
Okay, can people hear me right now? I'm trying to speak loudly, but I generally have a soft voice. Okay, cool. And I need a few more. Yes?
Do you encourage people who may not be able to hear you as well to move into the center? Yeah. There's plenty of space.
Yeah. If you can't hear well, move to the front and center. There's plenty of room. I need a few more people to help. I need a person to take notes. And the only thing other than taking notes during the meeting is they have to bring them to the meeting group after the meeting so that they can post them online. We can get you paper and pencils if you don't have paper and pencils. Would anyone like to take notes? Yeah. Cool. Someone have some... And have we been having 2 note takers or just... So could we have one more note taker?
It just came up in, I just found out that if you aren't able to transcribe the notes, what I want to say is if you are willing to take notes tonight and do us all the great service of actually writing them up in a Word program or something, and getting them to meet it today, it would have to be today, that would be great. But if you can just take notes for today, then you pass them off to media and they review them and sort of synopsize them and post them to the website. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start recruiting people.
So one more note taker.
That's right. Thank you.
And then I need, who else do I need?
Where's your goal? I'll decide that. Just turn that over. Turn it over as a list.
Okay, cool, thank you.
12 roles.
I need an additional co-facilitator just to, help keep things under control, like, in case there's any, people who need to be, just help keep things under control. It's you kind of just gonna stand up here and hold signs and stuff for the most part. Anyone? I actually don't think with this size group we need an additional co-facilitator. People are alright with that. I need a timekeeper, which is really important that you stay on track, because we want this to be done quickly, because long meetings are boring and frustrating. So, anyone who has a phone, or even if you don't have a phone, you could borrow someone else's phone, who can
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just want to see the agenda so I can know what each item has.
Yeah. Let me know if you can't read that. Alright, so we need 2 greeters, which I'm not quite sure what those are. I think that they're for people walking in to help explain what's going on here, so they don't just jump in and so they're not confused.
The media, too.
Do you want to do that?
No, I was just going to give you a point of information.
Oh yeah, point of information.
I think you did pretty well. To find out if they know anything about the consensus process, then the greeter could really quickly give them an idea of what's going on.
Yeah. Can I have one more greeter?
And it is also in case a media crew shows up and starts interviewing passerby on the street instead of people who are actually involved with our movement. So.
Could I have one more greeter? Yeah, cool. So that's all the roles, and I'm going to move on now to, unless there's any more questions or,
Vibes Watcher.
What?
Vibes Watcher. We need a Vibes
Oh, yes.
Watcher.
Vibes Watcher. Would someone like to be a Vibes Watcher? Who wasn't on this list? Yeah.
Reluctantly.
Alright, let's move on to the working group reports then. Yes.
The news from legal is uniformly good. We've had little to no law enforcement presence at either occupation site for a while. Thanks to Roxanne and to Bishop, we've been able to assign nightly police liaisons, so we've always have somebody here doing police liaison. That's been a really good program that's been worked out. I will tell everybody tomorrow more of what we know about retaining counsel for our preliminary injunction. And I will give you a report on that tomorrow night. We will certainly know more once I've talked to a couple local attorneys. We have a donation, as you know, from an anonymous friend of the movement in the amount of $2,500 to help us with our legal fees. And that's really about it for legal. I have been functioning as the overall police liaison to the chain of command for the Santa Cruz Police Department, and that's kind of just been by sense of the assembly. Until there is some other sense of the assembly, I'll continue to do that, and we can certainly discuss it with me or anyone else if you think that a change is needed. And other than that, I would like to think that one of the reasons they've been so restrained in the enforcement for 647E, and particularly the camping bans, is their support of us, generally speaking, and our performance yesterday during the rally, which I got reports from the highest chain of command of Santa Cruz Police Department. They were delighted with that. They are supporting us. They want us to succeed. They want us to express ourselves. So that's my sense of it. Bess has a different sense, and he's welcome to bring that up. But anyway, mostly the report from legal is good, and Wes, you missed it, but I mentioned to the group that I'm going to continue to function as the general police liaison. It seems to be the sense of the GA, and if that changes, just make it up, let me know. Anyway, that's it. Everybody did a wonderful job. No, that's fine.
I have a lawyer friend, so we have another lawyer that's on our team.
Okay.
Would someone from the direct action group like to come up and talk? By the way, these are 2 minutes each. Yeah.
Direct action has not met yet. We will meet today at 4:30.
Nice report.
Somebody from the food.
I'm with the food group, and yeah, my name's Tom. I will be here after the meeting if anyone wants to sign up for our group. We have a few volunteers. We could use some more help. We also have a calendar that's down by the campsite, so that if you want to maybe make some food and bring it to this group for dinner, or some food for the General Assembly meeting, some snacks, you can sign up ahead of time. And is there still a sign-up sheet here at the table for the same thing? Yes, there is. So you don't even have to go down to the camp. You can sign up right here. You can also sign up to come down on a specific day and help cook whatever the heck's going on down there at the campsite. Does anybody have any questions on that? No? Yes. Sorry? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh my gosh.
There are no questions during,
What?
there are no questions during,
No, there are no questions during the report backs. If you want to ask a question of a working group, you can talk to the person who came up after or at the meeting time that they say. If you want to make a quick announcement, make it real quick.
I just wanted to let you know I'm experimenting with an audio stream, the General Assemblies, and it's at osc1016.
Cool. Did somebody from the process group come up and make a quick announcement?
Yeah, howdy. My name is Wes. It's nice to see you all. We have a couple proposals that you'll hear about. Those were actually consensus on yesterday. We just wanted to kind of give you a sense of what we were talking about, what we were dealing with. I think it's an important group, and so I think it's super, super important that we're as transparent as possible. So we are creating an online schedule so there'll be less of a hustle before every General Assembly to find somebody who's experienced and capable of facilitating the GAs. So we'll know like weeks, months, years ahead of time who's going to be doing the GAs, and that's good news for us at least. There was a discussion about the roles of stackers and the co-facilitators and the role of the facilitator interrupting people. There was some discussion about intergroup communication. We're going to work on channels of communication for everyone with the intercom group if they're into it. And then lastly, there was just a discussion about alternatives to full consensus, but there was nothing decided. It was just talk. Ding, is that it? Yes! Yes! Yeah.
Cool. Would someone from Intercom like to come up here?
I need a loudspeaker.
All right, I'll be your loudspeaker for now.
So, Intercom is out of flyers.
Intercom is out of flyers.
We need more flyers. I don't know who is producing the flyers, but if they can contact me, I would much appreciate it because it looks good when there are flyers there, and it looks even cooler when there aren't any.
If you want me to loudspeak, okay. He doesn't know who's producing the flyers, but he needs more flyers, and he thinks it looks really good when there are a bunch of flyers out there from various sources.
So if you could just contact me.
He's like at the table. Contact him.
Thank you, Andre. What's your name? It's Andre.
Cool. Philosophy and strategy? Anyone? Excuse me? Excuse me? I know, but we're running through like a really specific kind of form right now, and there's like time for announcements, and that's going to be discussed later. It's like people are really adamant on that. It's a really important issue. Anyone from the philosophy and strategy work group who's gone to their meetings who has some things to say about it?
We're having a meeting at 6 o'clock at the, I think it's called Community. It's on Squid Row, near Goodwill. But I don't think there's been anything, there's nothing to report, just a meeting.
Okay, can everyone hear that? They're meeting at 6 o'clock. What? Where are you meeting?
I think it's called Community. It's like a tea room on Squid Row.
On Squid Row?
Near Goodwill.
Near Goodwill.
Downtown.
Wes, and then Ed.
My opinion is appropriate. I'll tell people when the process goes on.
Oh, okay. Could you just say that real nice?
Yeah.
Right now.
Process group meeting. Sorry I didn't tell you this earlier. We just chose, and as the note taker, I didn't write it down. No, we did. Meet daily at 5:15 before the General Assembly, and then we're also going to meet half an hour after each General Assembly just to go over the process.
And Sundays,
Oh, Sundays they are when?
12.
At 12.
Excellent.
So we'll have a big, long, grueling meeting then. All right, thanks.
Cool. Ed, real quick.
I think this meeting of the philosophy and strategy group is really important because a lot of people, including myself, are feeling a real need to define what it is we're seeking, what we want. And so that's what is going to be discussed, and whether or not we're going to come up with a mission statement. So I hope as many people as possible will come and give their input.
Great. Thank you. It's very important. Would somebody from the media group like to come up?
We're meeting today at 5 o'clock here, and there's going to be a training on how to talk to the press. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Also, I think that's it because we haven't met today. Check the website.
They're meeting at 5 o'clock today. They're going to have a workshop about talking to the press, and it says check the website. Check the website. That's like stuff that they're doing a lot of. Cool. Would somebody from the Treasury, real quick, like to come up?
Andre!
Yeah. Okay, yesterday we fundraised $382. Bringing our total funds to $944.
Yeah!
Quit the day job.
No one's brought anything to my attention.
Where do I sign up?
All right. And that was a question about equipment. Treasury just handles money at the moment. Equipment is handled by like other groups, like food donations are handled by food. Sanitation handles a lot of the other stuff. Would somebody from the outreach group like to come up? All right.
I'm Summer, and I'm stoked that you're all here. Thank you. A bunch of us went to Noah's, one of the guys Noah's house yesterday. It was like 30 of us. We doing some, figuring out how to get UCSC involved. I'm a student senator at Cabrillo and looking to get Cabrillo involved. So, and then in terms of like us doing our own individual work, also the idea of like everyone coming to occupy Santa Cruz, so we can have a giant mass of people here, and then on certain days we'll go to Cabrillo, so all of us have a giant bunch of people over there, and then we'll go to UCSC, so we can kind of show that the numbers are growing and they are big and we're all supporting each other, and to create also cohesiveness, that we can maybe even share resources as we get them, share the lawyers, whatever we need in order to really keep us all divided.
Can't hear.
And then, I can't hear, I'm sorry. So looking to create a cohesiveness between Occupy Cabrillo, Occupy Santa Cruz, and Occupy UCSC, so we can maybe even share resources, have like a similar vision, similar outreach, so we're all going to work together and also have our groups go, maybe, we have to consent on this, it's just like talking, we'll have to address this to everybody here, whether we all, or like 90% of us from here go to Cabrillo, and on certain days, like when Cabrillo has a big action day, like all of us will just go to Cabrillo. We have a big action day here. People from Cabrillo and UCSC will come here. When UCSC has a big event they're doing, we'll all go there. But keep a presence, of course, in every location. Let them know we have more people. They're just out doing this big event over there. So we can really just support each other with showing the numbers are here and keep the numbers, people inspired.
Cool. And when are you meeting?
I don't know when the next meeting is. Some of them are coming here a little later. We might know in a little bit.
Sorry.
Okay.
Let's get a fall.
Since you're the only one here, you might want to meet with whoever wants to be in the outreach.
It's like a point of order. I'm not really sure what this is.
Okay.
I just got really confused. I was under the understanding that we had an outreach committee that was doing outreach with Cabrillo students and UCSC students to recruit them to come to our occupation. Right. And I've just been informed, and I've just found out that there's actually an Occupy Cabrillo and an Occupy UCSC? Is that what you're saying? So there's people camping out there and there's a new movement? Let's not, I think that's confusing to people. Because that confused me that there's 3 different occupations happening in Santa Cruz.
I think this is
Did
all
anyone else
fine.
get confused?
Yeah, and if you
Other
want more
people know.
clarification,
She's
you can
nodding.
talk
Other
to Summer
people.
after the meeting.
Okay. I'm a student senator at Cabrillo, so I've been talking for the last couple of weeks. It takes a little bit more process if we want to get like big institutions, big faculty staff, them on our side. We can't just like go and occupy. We have to actually go through the red tape a little bit to make it official. But we're looking to do, I'm streamlining this at Cabrillo because I'm looking to get all schools nationwide on the Occupy movement.
Okay, we'll
That's
have to
great.
talk outside
So,
of this.
like, if you're interested, go talk to Summer
It's 2
after
different
the
issues.
meeting.
She's doing
All right.
something different.
Sorry, like I
Thank you.
Something else to do.
Point of information?
I do. As of yesterday, there's going to be an outreach meeting today at 3 or 3:30.
So there's a meeting today at 3 or 3:30. Right here. Location group.
Howdy, I'm still Wes. And I'm part of the process group too. I mean the locations group. So we met several times over the last week. We looked at all the details of all the proposed locations. And I think the thing that we're most challenged with is, it seems like we're here for now. And we're still looking at alternate locations. But beyond looking at the possibility for alternate locations, we're also considering issues of safety at this occupation. And so one of the things we bandied about was just this idea that someone came up with is these basic rules at the Dignity Village, which is a homeless encampment in Portland, Oregon. And we just wanted to share them with you. This is not a proposal. This is so that you can, it can ferment, I guess. So 1, no violence to yourself or others. 2, no theft. 3, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or drug paraphernalia on site or we'll just say at the occupation. 4, no constant disruptive behavior. 5, everyone must contribute to the operation of the occupation. So those are just ideas to ferment. Think about that. Something may come of it later.
When are you meeting?
Oh, and then we don't have a meeting scheduled. If you have Facebook access, it'll be announced on the Facebook group dedicated to the locations group. You have a direct question, or maybe something else?
Is that after GA? It says after GA.
I think it's a lie, but
Yeah, this seems to be a little out of date.
But that was updated yesterday in our announcement. So
Well, I mean, I'm
I don't
sure
know about
people are
it, maybe.
interested. Wes, could you meet with some people after the GA real quick to talk about it?
I will be happy to have a chat.
Yeah. Go talk to Wes real quick.
I don't know about the other. Thank you.
Somebody from Art and Music?
Well, my name's Mick, and I am.
Have you been in the Art and Music Committee at all?
No, but I'm a musician, and
Well, then
I
you
just
should-
wanted to thank Occupy Santa Cruz for the opportunity to speak out on such a vital issue as an economic war against 99% of Americans.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Anyone from the Art and Music group here who would like to make any announcements? Yeah, right here. Anyone? Well, I mean, it's understandable if they're taking a little break. Yesterday was fantastic.
Yes.
A huge amount of stuff. Lots of stuff that we know. Sanitation group.
Hello again. The first thing is, yesterday it seemed like our group was tasked with arranging some porta potties. So right now, we've decided we would like to elicit the help of the people who were trying to arrange the porta potties at Mission Park. It seemed like we almost had some porta potties. So whoever those people were, please come and see me. We would like to get some porta potties in here. The second thing is, as far as the sanitation and garbage group goes, we're asking people to please not recycle your plastic forks and spoons and cups and stuff, because we're washing them and reusing them. And the third and last thing is, we could use some volunteers. It's a very important group. Please come and see me. I will be hanging around here somewhere after the meeting. And I don't know when the next, it depends on you. Whoever volunteers will decide when the next meeting is.
Somebody from the medical group? Oh, where's Noah? Medical group? I thought I saw Noah here. He's busy?
Noah? Medical?
Medical group?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Medical vet. Recently, we took an inventory of all the supplies we have. We're working on getting a few of those things we need. Eventually, we want to set up a medical tent. They will be prepared for any kind of health issues that the occupation has. We're going to be meeting every Friday at 5 p.m. here. And we're interested in getting involved in medical. Let me know, or I believe there's, you can take your information at intercom.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the proposals that people wrote down on the agenda earlier. First, we're going to go through new group proposals. And I think, is anyone here who wants to talk about the camp supervision proposal? Chris, did you? You see it happen?
Yeah. Well, it just, a lot of people have been talking about it. Lots of people have been talking about the whole camp situation down there.
Lots of people have been talking about the whole camp situation down there.
And I've just been sort of brainstorming with people, putting together ideas.
Chris has been brainstorming with people and putting together ideas.
And so we've got an idea for creating a new group. Is that, who proposed that idea right now? What's that?
Oh, I thought it was you. That's why.
Oh.
I called on you. Okay, Tom.
Oh, Tom did. Okay, great. Well, I'm all for it. I'm all on board. I've been putting a lot of thought into it. So
maybe if somebody has some ideas, specific ideas of what this group would be doing, before we can talk about it.
A proposal to start a new working group, camp supervision camp group. One of the purposes being to get a 24-hour, all the time supervision on the camp to be chosen somehow by the people in the camp themselves. And I'd like to maybe have some discussion and then hopefully pass this proposal and get that working group approved.
Stack, we're going to take Stack now. 5 people at a time.
Tom, are you and your group amenable to a little sensitive toward supervision? Coordination, is that comfortable for you all?
We would love that word. We would love that word.
Okay. Just kind of doing an informal consensus. I've just been kind of taking some notes on what I've talked to different people about.
Taking a formal consensus, writing down some notes. Informal.
And the issues that have come up are define the camp area, make a better
camp area.
a sign describing what the camp is about, because it seems unclear. When I was down there right now, we had 2 people coming in, and it seems like they're just, asking for food. Just kind of almost acting as if this is a place where they can, it's just a giveaway kind of thing. So,
well, that too.
What's that?
That too.
Yeah.
Not primarily, but
yeah. And then the camp image, what it looks like to the outside world.
Camp image, what it looks like to the outside world.
Okay. Setting maybe meal times, or be a little more organized so people know when meals are happening, when we're making a large meal at the camp.
Have a meal time for certain times to be served food.
And having that communicated so that people that are working hard up here can be in on that.
The people working hard up here can get fed. They know when the food's happening.
then just rules of the camp, containing the kitchen a little bit better, and stating participation requirements in the camp. That's it.
We have a few questions.
No, so you should sit down.
Okay, sorry.
We're taking stack, so yeah, we're gonna take a stack.
Yeah. Supervision is necessary.
Louder.
Supervision is necessary.
Because you can't call it anything else but that. You know what it feels like when you've been out here working all day, flying the sign, meeting with the public, going on marches, just to come home at night just to find your shit being taken?
Yeah, he says, do you know what it feels like to come home after like working all day long to having all your shit being taken?
Makes you want to sing the blues?
So who's next? We've got 3 more in stack.
That was a question.
I'd like to propose that we create our own currency for the people who participate
I'll come home
to get to it. It's also an economic protest, because if we are creating our own currency, opposition to the currency.
I think that's a really great idea, but currently we're just discussing a proposal for a new group to deal with like sort of security and like camp coordination.
And that was just for the food. As far as the security, we should also include cop watch as well. You can find
Gentleman in black, cap. Here, in back. You, yes.
The little dog too.
I realize that there are people who come looking for food.
Yeah.
It's really important to remember that we live in a society that doesn't always recognize the needs of people. And somehow that has to be balanced with what the needs of the occupation is, the people who work hard, people that can't, and some people that come by just to help. I mean, I think it's really important to not start creating another form of class bias for people. That's all.
You said it better than I could.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Right on.
And we've got 1, 2, 3 more on stack.
And
So we want to close it up real quick and like
Join the meeting. Join the committee.
and vote to have consensus on this committee. If there's any more people talking about whether or not we should have a committee to deal with this, not like what the committee should do, like in little specifics, you can go to the committee and anyone could be a part of the committee.
So we've cut our stack.
Oh, point of process? Oh.
Wow.
Okay, there's no one watching the camp at all right now, so this guy's gonna go take care of it. Alright, so if there's any more, I think that right now we've had a good amount of discussion. If we can like take it to consensus real quick just to see how people feel, point of process. Do you realize that the point of process is how I'm doing this government discussion?
I just want to point out that the next proposal coming up, they're complimentary. So just consider that.
And this woman's had food for a while.
well, the point of process I threw in was I thought there were 3 people on stack before me, and so I just thought those 3 people. I wasn't sure if you were.
Yeah, if people want to finish off the current stack about any comments, people had already raised their hands and gotten noticed by the stack takers. And we are out of time, by the way, just to let everyone know. So that's why we're wrapping it up. So anyone?
Did you have a last minute thing you wanted to say, or you?
I guess I'm no one. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I thought we were getting to talk about consensus, and I do not consent to consensus.
Well,
and I don't know if that makes me, not here somehow.
There's a group where we're discussing how we
Well,
run
no, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
And we could
Is
abolish
I do
consensus.
not subject myself to the tyranny of structuralness and the dictatorship of the lowest common denominator. But I'm here listening, and I'm hearing lots of good things. And how do we get past that? I mean, is everybody who wants to hold hands and sing
There's a process group which is talking about how we run the meetings.
to talking about it more?
Yeah. So then that seems to be what you want to do. You want to have a non-consensus process. So you take that to the process group and talk about it there. Right now, we're talking about the formation of like a camp coordination group. And
then I have a reservation about the introduction, and Wes said it's not, it's only a suggestion. but people must participate. And what problem I have with consensus, and
Excuse
this gets around to
me, sir,
participation,
but we're
is
trying to
that-
talk about something else and you're hijacking the meeting. And
No, I get my minute of soapbox.
I know, but this is not a soapbox. We have like a structured meeting.
Is what I'm hearing people talk about is lead, follow, or get out of the way, and I'm not hearing people doing that. You know, just consensus is too much just getting in the way.
Fines watcher. Okay, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Come on. Turn to the person to your left and introduce yourself. Hi. My name.
Hi, I'm Betty.
Betty, I'm Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Alonzo.
Alonzo.
I know we're from.
Now everybody sit down.
And you are?
I'm Betty. And
That's
I
right,
heard you're
Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Nice
Yeah.
to see you.
Great.
One of my favorite names. My mom's an Ida. I love those. older
Okay,
names.
so now we have one person left on the stack. Okay, so we've cleared the stack. Now we're going to take a quick consensus. If you support this, put your thumbs up. If you are against it but are okay with it passing, thumbs down. If you think it's against core values of the group,
Supervisor kind of thing.
you can block. But that's like, if you think it's against what you perceive the group standing for, not just your personal values. And the proposal is to form a group for camp coordination. Okay, if there's anyone who I can't see who has a thumbs down, who would like to make a friendly amendment? All right, great.
Hey.
Yeah! All right, moving on. Would someone from the homeless outreach, who wants to form the homeless outreach group, come up and like to talk about that at all?
Okay, very briefly, this proposal is actually complementary with the one just passed. The proposal is to create a homeless outreach committee for two purposes. One, to network with the homeless community so that they can actually police themselves and encourage the homeless community to come to these meetings drug-free and alcohol-free, and also to encourage less outbreaks of violence within their community. I feel like people who are peers will listen to each other rather than somebody from outside their community. The second, of course, is to create a series of proposals that the homeless community would like us to address. It's a two-way process. We listen to the homeless listen to us.
So, we're going to take stack for discussion if you want to have anything to say about this.
I don't see any hands.
Actually,
Anybody?
Okay. Really quick. Thank you. I think it's an excellent idea. I want to be on that group. And I think I would add a friendly amendment that we also do outreach to the homeless services community, people who are actually already doing this work and have resources that we may not be aware of, so that we're coordinated with them, and maybe we can actually even integrate some of those folks into our group to help us, help them, help us, each other. So I would like to do a friendly amendment that we outreach to the professional homeless services community.
Point of information.
Brief addition. It should be composed of at least 50% from the homeless community.
Oh, that's right.
I just like it. That was a great point, but I'd like to make a comment. This is like to clarify facts. It's not to like state an opinion or add to discussion.
Just a comment. The people who are on this committee, be very realistic. Go meet the homeless. Know who they really are, not who you think they are.
Yeah. So he's saying to be very realistic, whoever is on this homeless outreach committee, and to learn and understand who they are, not necessarily who they appear to be or who we think they are.
Or hope they be.
Yeah.
All right.
Got,
We had another one.
yeah. It's a proposal right now. Do we have anybody on stack?
I just kind of get the feeling that people are like, this is not like a big deal, and they kind of just all think it's a great idea. Are we okay just taking consensus on this right now? And then if you want to like go do this, talk to Neil after the GA. So test for consensus.
Consensus for a homeless group to organize the homeless outreach, and then also the people that take care of the homeless people, the organization that will address the homeless people, how to work with them and create them as team leaders and empower them. Yeah, we have one down.
I think he's just relaxing.
It doesn't look like a relaxation. Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Point of process.
I just started some cross conversations.
Okay. I mean, with the point of process, by the way, like, it's like if it's getting really off track. Like in general, if there's like a little side conversation, like me and the other facilitators up here can sort of deal with that. Just let people know. All right. So that was great. Another group formed. Yeah.
Get it done.
All right, so somebody wrote down on the proposals list music and speakers from community TV. If they would like to talk about this proposal real quick. All right, well, if that person is still here, they can go and talk to the outreach group that currently exists and kind of covers that, or the media group. They both can sort of deal with this a little bit more, the outreach group. All right, and then there was another one which I couldn't read. If anybody thinks this looks somewhat like something you wrote down on the agenda and would like to, talk about it, I'm trying to be fair and letting everybody make the proposals, even if I can't read their handwriting. Okay, Wes.
I'm not actually doing the best. I just wanted to, would you be willing to remind people that if they have proposals, that they bring them to work groups instead of proposing them in the GA?
Yeah, Wes wants to remind people to bring proposals first to working groups so they can be fleshed out and discussed and developed to a more sturdy proposal before just bringing it right to the big group. All right, this is going great. Working group proposal. Does somebody, I think this is from the process group. Cool.
Hi, so I'm Taya, this is Tom, and I'm wondering who here likes long meetings?
She's wondering who here likes long meetings?
Are there people that like long meetings? Anybody? No? Okay. Who likes short meetings?
Who likes short meetings?
Okay. Who likes to get informed while you're having a meeting?
Who likes to get informed while you're having a meeting?
Okay, who likes really long, rambling proposals?
Who likes really long, rambling proposals?
Okay. Okay, so we're coming to you from the process group with a proposal, and our proposal is any proposal for the General Assembly to discuss and vote on must first go through a working group before coming to the General Assembly.
Would you like to talk about, the table?
Yeah, so a little bit more information. If you have an idea and you want to bring it forth to the General Assembly and you think it's going to really serve everybody, you don't know where to go with it, you can go to the information table and they can either help you to form your proposal and you can work with them as a working group, or they can direct you to the proper working group. So there's always going to be a way to bring it here, but that way it can be fleshed out, talked about, come to consensus within a group, and really streamlined so that we're not hearing rambling long things and they can come forward to you and you can say, hey, yeah, that sounds good, great, let's move forward, and we can all feel really good because we like to come to consensus for the most part, right?
So, take it back for discussion. All right. Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant to favor that because you have a really good idea and you want it to be heard, and you're not allowed to bring it here to the General Assembly, but you have to take it to a working group. Some of the working groups are functioning well and others are not functioning too well. So your proposal might get stifled or whatever. I think you all ought to have a right, we all ought to have a right, if we think we have a good idea, to present it to the whole group. Thank you.
I think just to clarify, everyone would still be able to present. This is just so that people can work it out a little bit before they just bring it before the group and have a little bit of discussion rather than just just going for it without really thinking about it.
It sometimes helps to have feedback, bounce your idea off of other people before you just. It's 99%. We're all going to have different perspectives, different ways of looking at it that might help your proposal or anybody's proposal better by getting it a little more fleshed out where it actually works.
Point of process.
Are you running your own stack or did you jump your own stack?
Am I what?
Did you jump your own stack?
I think I did.
Can you be aware of that?
think yeah, it's important that we don't. Got someone on staff. Yes, you.
I think this is a good idea for one because we've had people come up here with proposals that are sort of half-baked and they obviously, I mean, they thought it through, but there are a lot of considerations that they hadn't thought of that could be worked out in a working group with other people's ideas and feedback. So it's not saying that the idea would be stifled, it's just a way to get other people's opinions so that you can form your proposal a little bit better. And it's not saying that you can't bring it to the General Assembly, but at least get someone else's opinion before you bring it here, which would be great to just go through working groups that way.
Hold up, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes?
All right, so I'm part of the process group. And if it feels a little uncomfortable for people to possibly have their ideas not find a place, Ed said some of the groups are functional, some not. I think we're a consensus group, and we can agree at any time to subvert our own process, and that's part of being both structural and flexible. So I think that if someone had an idea, that it would be perfectly okay at the beginning to say, hey, y'all okay with us adding this idea to the group? The facilitator could check in with people. Otherwise, people might be like, yeah, maybe you should take that over to the legal group, or maybe you should take that over to the... So I think there's other possibilities, while at the same time, providing us the structure and brevity that we appreciate. Thank you.
Right on.
Sir, in the blue shirt?
If I did not be stifled in level, rambling all these problems, essentially things, and then maybe have a discussion afterwards while the debate might be more progressive than to say, well, take your idea to these people first, and then come back to the general group. You know, I don't think it's good to stifle creating, making special
Hold on, Ed, I've got you.
Typical way it will get stifled. Someone comes here, has got an exciting idea, doesn't have a whole lot of time, like a whole week. Can't find out where the group is meeting or when. So they give up, they go away. We need to be able to know what everybody's ideas are right here at the General Assembly.
All right, I've got the young woman in the blue shirt, no? And then right here. You're on stack. You're on stack. You're next.
Oh, right now?
Yes.
All right, I wanted to say that we're working to make sure that all the committees will be announced before the General Assembly, so everyone will know when those working groups meet. The working groups are smaller, and it allows us a chance to get to know each other. They're welcoming, and it really shows a good chance for us not only to get to know the person proposing those ideas, but for the person that's proposing the idea to actually work with a small group of other people first and work with that and then bring that idea to the General Assembly. So it's not necessarily stifling as much as it is just cooperating with a small group of people and then introducing that.
Okay, I'd like to say that we have quite a few groups. It seems to me like there's about 15 groups. It seems to me that most of them are pretty functional and that most of them are announcing when their next meeting is. And if somebody just happens to show up at a General Assembly meeting and they're unfamiliar with the process and they're unfamiliar with all these working groups, we will maybe get something like whatever the heck that says. And I don't mean to be picking on anybody, but you should be able to find a group that will bring it to the agenda. We've got the information group that's open 24 hours a day, and most proposals can be brought to 2 or 3 different groups. If it's a proposal, it can be brought up to the General Assembly through a group.
to make it more explicit.
Can't hear you.
To make it more explicit under this proposal.
To make it more explicit under this proposal.
And discuss it, and the working group doesn't agree to that proposal, you can still at that point bring it to the General Assembly. Is that correct?
It's like a friendly amendment to make it so that if you discuss it in a working group and that working group doesn't agree to it, you can still bring it to the General Assembly. But like, at least you've discussed it and fleshed it out a bit more.
Got the co-facilitator on staff.
So that's now the proposal.
Do you want to still speak? Sister, right here? Did you still want to speak? That was my suggestion.
Okay.
Hold on. Same here.
We have 1 minute left.
I was just going to make the point that we also said for the bringing it to a working group is going to help. If you really like your idea and you think you can't make it, there's going to be someone there to present it for you from the working group if there is a consensus about the proposal, so we don't have no-shows on a great proposal. So.
Okay, got the gentleman right here.
Yeah, real quick. I think it's a better idea to take it to the working group, because anytime we have a proposal at General Assembly, we got people that want to fight and argue and drag it out. And just when we think we got it hashed, somebody always inevitably rehashes it, creating more time, and it gets a little bit too wordy and out of control.
30 seconds. Point of information? No. Point. Oh, no.
Wait,
this is point of information. This is get on the stack. Sorry. Okay.
I just wanted to echo really quick what Michael said, that I think people could look more at the working groups as a resource and not a review. So if you looked at it more as this is a body of people to help, everyone needs an editor, right? I need an editor, you need an editor. It's to help you hone your ideas, troubleshoot them so that there's something you've overlooked in your own way, which we all do, that someone else with an outside perspective could help you get all those points across so that your proposal is successful. And I think in small groups we're able to troubleshoot ideas, hash them out informally and duke it out, so that when it comes to the General Assembly, this is my understanding of consensus, that we've already had a small body of people that kind of figured out and troubleshot an idea, and now they are presenting it to the larger body with the hope that they've covered everything and that they're respectfully representing the will of this group. So I think that's the way to frame it, is really as a resource and not a review. And as someone else said, if they don't like your idea enough to stand by and unanimously support it, you could still present it to the General Assembly if we agree to that amendment. So I don't think that's stifling communication, really. I think it's just trying to get us all to be better at presenting ideas to a large group.
Is there some kind of internet place where we can all go to communicate these things and smooth these things away?
You can't speak up.
You gotta raise your hand. No, I did a number of times. I'm overriding their ignorance.
So right now we're.
Is there some internet place we can go? You're working all these things out, because that would seem to facilitate a lot of what you're talking about, to communicate.
That's not fair.
Okay, Vice Watcher. Everybody stand up. Now, a meditation technique. It's a Japanese, it's very traditional. It's known as Shinko-kyu. Everybody say that.
Shinko-kyu.
Good. So, you can do this anytime. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to put in front of your belly, open your right hand, open palm. Now I want you to put your left hand on top of that. You're going to clasp them together. Left hand is going to be palm down, right hand palm up. Close your eyes. Now I want you to imagine there is a jar in the middle of your belly that's full of stuff. And you're going to shake your palms. You're going to shake it. And as you shake your palms, you're shaking that jar of stuff. And as that jar of stuff starts shaking, that stuff starts to clear. Now I want you to breathe into your bellies. Breathe. Breathe in. Out. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Relax your tension. When that shaking starts to cease, shake your hands less until you're practically not moving your hands. Excellent. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Watcher.
All right, so we're out of time currently right now on this discussion topic. There's a stack which includes you, Ed, don't worry. And so there's 2 more people left. We're going to hear their points, then we're going to test for consensus, and if it doesn't pass, we're going to ask the people who don't support it to see what their friendly amendments are, if they have any, and otherwise it will be tabled and it'll go back to the process group to be presented at the next meeting. Yes, Wes, point of process.
Can we suggest instead of having a long discussion, if it doesn't have consensus after that, those people join that group that brought it?
Yeah, he's just suggesting that instead of, the only discussion I think we should have is to clarify, is friendly amendments that will still allow this proposal to pass. All right, so stack.
Okay, so Summers on stack.
I just wanted to say, the whole idea of this proposal is that we can have shorter times here. If I just came randomly and proposed something, it might have already been proposed. So bringing it to a working group will also help cut down on the time that we are spending here, and also be helpful to that person bringing it so they can process with the group that might already be processing it. So, part of that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, suppose someone has a really good idea.
Yeah, go.
Suppose someone has a really good idea, they bring it to the General Assembly, they want to bring it up, you say you can't do that. There are 3 other people scattered throughout the group who also would like to see that, but haven't raised it as a book. They're not going to get to know about the working group is actually working on the thing they're interested in. Can we at least amend this proposal to allow an announcement, a simple announcement at the General Assembly, that this is what the proposal that will be taken to the working group. Come to the working group.
We've done that. Yep, we've done that.
Yeah, there's announcements at the end, So we've closed the stack. Did you have pointed to me?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been waiting. I have to agree with Ed. I have some serious reservations with this proposal. I agree. I like its sentiments. But with direct action, we have a constantly fluid membership. I seem to be the only one who's the regular coordinator there. And in fact, when I can't make it, and I have said to somebody, please propose this, make this proposal, make sure it happens, it doesn't. So I appreciate the sentiment to make things more streamlined, but I feel this is kind of arbitrary and it's going to limit people's approach to making proposals.
Cool. I'm going to test for consensus right now. Thumbs up if you like it, block if you think it's against the fundamental principles of the group, and this if you want to stand aside or you don't like it, but you're okay with it happening.
So say what the proposal is.
Could you repeat the proposal with the amendment?
He's got notes right here.
Okay,
So any proposal for the General Assembly to discuss and vote on must go through a working group first before coming before the General Assembly.
And
the amendment was?
The amendment was that it doesn't have to be consensus upon in the group, it just has to be discussed by a group before coming through.
I have an amendment that wasn't heard, and it's that there was a proposal here for a soapbox, a minute for people to speak up.
Yeah, there's a soapbox at 4 o'clock.
So that says that the other gentleman doesn't want anybody to feel quashed or cut out. If somebody has something they want to throw out to the General Assembly,
I'm going to make a point of information. There is a soapbox at 4 o'clock every day that no one's come to, so that's far.
Okay.
But people could come to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to test for consensus real quick. We have point of process.
Okay. What about Ed's amendment to that? Is that included in the?
Was there an amendment, Ed? Or?
Yes, there was.
You responded to it. My amendment was to require or allow anyone who has a new idea to announce it at the General Assembly.
So there are announcements. Yeah, that's what I said. There are announcements that you can announce that. Like you can make an announcement like, I would like to discuss a proposal to only allow running at the site, whatever. Yeah, I think the presenter is okay with that. We're going to test for consensus now on this proposal. Does anyone need any clarification?
I just want to make
Yes, please.
Yeah, I thought we had said a recommendation versus a mandatory, because you can, if the working group does not accept your proposal, you still have the ability to go to the GA and announce it. So it's more of a recommendation than a...
Yeah.
I'd like him to read
Well, I'm going to say it real quick because I think I can fit it into like a one thing. So the whole proposal is, it's a recommendation that you go to a working group before you bring a proposal to the General Assembly. You don't have to get consensus at that working group. You only have to discuss it with people before bringing it here. If you can't do that and you just want to make an announcement because it's like, you got to get it out there, you can bring it up at the announcements and say, I have a proposal about this that I would like to discuss with people after.